me eat my mic. Oh, don't you love it when you can hear the mouth sounds? Let's keep that in.
Is it recording right now?
Yeah. What's the name of our mythical producer? It's literally me, but Brian? Kevin. No, it's Kevin. Kevin, we're going to keep that. Kevin, we're going to keep the mouth sounds.
So,
it's sort of hard to know where to begin when it's the very beginning. It feels like
there's no reason to do this because it's just a brute start.
Yeah. Something feels like we need Julie Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
And the place to start is at the very beginning.
Right.
Welcome to the Benedictine Thought Action podcast. We are beginners in the Benedictine way, so we have to listen to the voice of wisdom. Otherwise, we're sunk. Join John and Jason as they learn to become more aware of God through living hospitably in community. Today's pod is a conversation in which John and Jason introduce themselves to you and tell their stories of coming to live out their vocations at Mount Marty University, Catholic Benedictine University in Yankton, South Dakota.
Well, welcome to what I can only assume is tens of you out there listening to if we're lucky, to the Benedictine Thought and Action podcast. My name's John Badley.
I'm Jason Heron.
And I think today we're going to figure out why we're doing this.
Yeah. This is just the introduction to the whole venture.
That's right.
Venture. So, who are we and what are we doing and why are we doing it?
Yeah.
And so, I thought maybe we should start with just a little bit, something we'll get into later, but a little bit on just being a Benedictine beginner. Our school, Mount Marty University, was founded by the Sisters of Sacred Heart Monastery, some Benedictines who came over from Switzerland like a long time ago. And they have handed to us, nobodies like us, John, handed to us this beautiful charism called the Benedictine Way, rooted in the teaching of Saint Benedict. So we have to figure out through this podcast how to be better at stewarding the gift we've been given.
How would you describe your beginner state? What qualifies you to be a Benedictine beginner?
That's a good question. I think what qualifies me is just a desire. I would like to be a Benedictine. I think it is a beautiful way of life, and I'm excited for this method of trying to figure out what that looks like for us who are never going to be Benedictine monks. We're not, I've got a family, you've got no plan to become a monk. And
grateful that's where you went with that. No, I thought you're going in a slightly different direction. I've got a family, you've got nothing, so.
No, neither one of us
I've got
has
a
plan.
Library, Jason.
Neither one of us has a plan to enter religious life, religious life.
No, for lack of trying.
Yeah, but there is a way for us, even outside of that context, outside the monastery, to live the Benedictine way, both at an institution as a university, but then also personally in our life. So,
I guess also there's multiple ways to be a beginner. You could be new to it, or you could be. So that would be the duration of your experience with it, but also maybe one's skill level or knowledge level,
sure,
or something else. How would you describe your beginner state regarding?
That's what you meant.
Well,
but
I liked your answer better than what I was
the latter
going for. Yeah,
I've been at it for a little bit. I was quite taken with Benedict when I got here, and I'd read the rule back in high school. I had some familiarity, but I was quite taken with the possibility of becoming a Benedictine. And so in terms of duration, I was a beginner a little while ago, and I've been at it for a little while. Yeah. But your other way of talking about being a beginner is the skill set. I'm definitely in an enduring novitiate. I'm going to be a novice for like a long time.
That's a vibe for sure.
Yeah.
Enduring novitiate, never ending.
Yeah.
What is it? What did she? Dorothy Day's the long obedience. We're in the long novitiate.
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely.
Is that the title?
Long loneliness.
Long loneliness.
Yeah. But
I feel like there's a long obedience
long
too. Long
obedience is a good.
Kev, can you look that up for us, Kev? Kev, are you there? Wake up, Kev.
There is something about long obedience in the Benedictine way for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I think I'm delighted to say I think I qualify more as a beginner. You elided this step just a little bit, but you've got like approaching a decade of teaching Benedictine studies to people, and you may or may not be a scholar. So I think I might have you beat beginner wise.
Yeah.
My eyes might be I might have a little more twinkle in my eyes
Sure.
and a little more
Sure.
wonder in my heart, because I think even now I would probably describe myself as more in the Franciscan tradition.
Sure.
But I've been, well, you know how it goes. It's hard to meet our sisters and hear about their history, long history, and not want to delve deeper into that. And also, there's obviously something attractive about getting closer to the heart of the tradition that you've bought into by like spending our lives here. I spend most of my life not with my kittens,
Right.
but with this university.
Right. We're here for many, many hours. Yeah, that's right.
So we're both beginners.
Both
In
beginners.
conclusion, we're both
beginners. And so the other part of this is like thought and action. So we want to figure out what it means to be a Benedictine beginner, and we want to do that by attending to the way the Benedictine life can impact how you think and what you think about, but also how you live, how you practice.
Yeah.
So
I have the distressing honor of not remembering how we came up with the title Benedictine Thought and Action.
I remember.
Okay. Can you
Our beloved
remind me?
Venerable President Long.
Oh, yeah. So we didn't, that's why I don't remember, because I didn't have anything to do with it.
We've been asked to create content
Yeah.
aimed at or orbiting around this phrase, Benedictine Thought and Action. So
Right.
when we were searching for what to call a title for this whole project, we were just like, well, let's not fiddle with what Mark asked us to do, and let's just call it the Benedictine Thought and Action podcast or something like that.
Man, he's good.
Yeah. So thought and action. I don't know. Academic, intellectual work plus praxis. So we want on this podcast, whether we're talking together or we're having a guest on, we want people who can help us understand how to think academically, rigorously about being Benedictine, but also people who can help us understand how to live the Benedictine way. So we want academics and practitioners. We want thought and action all the time, both feeding good feedback loop.
Yeah, I think we should do a whole episode just about what thought and action
100%.
means.
100%.
I think I'd prefer to construe it a little more broadly than just cognition.
Sure.
And I think that we share that. So I'd love to like dig around in that, rut in it a little bit.
Yeah.
As we say in Oklahoma, sometimes you just got to rut in it.
Just rooting around.
You got to do a little flippy flop and a little wriggle, Dust bath.
Yeah. Dust bath. Yeah, that's what it is.
I don't know. That doesn't feel like something my dad would say.
Okay, so our other tasks in this episode are to let people know, let all 10 of them know, like, who we are.
Again, if we're lucky.
If we're lucky. Not 8, all 8 of you. And the 8 who will be listening already know who we are.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. Hey, Hannah.
Right.
I think that's...
So 3, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm Jason, and I teach theology and philosophy here.
Yeah, how'd you get here?
I finished my PhD in theology at the University of Dayton in 2016, and I was looking for jobs, and the job market for theologians, I know this will be surprising to you, but it's not robust.
They're not begging.
Yeah, no.
They're not knocking down your door.
Nope. Like Costco, at like the corporate level, no one needs a theologian.
Although, again, and I'm going to hold to my position here, they should want one.
That's right.
They just don't. Inexplicably.
I don't think there's a single NFL team that has a theologian on staff.
Well, maybe our 3 listeners don't know, but going through a theology PhD is an incredibly, it's a bleak. And I'm not just talking like, oh, my professors were mean to me, but like seeing your brilliant friends and colleagues be turned down for like community college posts, one after the other. The most brilliant Hebrew teacher I had at Duke, and I'm brilliant, like writing or like earth-shattering biblical studies at the same time as teaching, like having a beautiful pedagogy. Couldn't get a job.
Yeah,
he had Carol Myers behind him, one of the biggest names in Old Testament Hebrew Bible. Couldn't get a job. He ended up opening a brewery, which I can only assume is as excellent as his Hebrew teaching. So what?
Incredible.
So knowing that, tell us a little bit about your bleak story.
The bleak story. Well, similarly, I just job after job after job after job. I'd get interviews, or you had the full run from apply for the job and never hear back at all. Yay or nay, nothing, all the way to, we'll have you to campus, and second round of interviews, and still you're neck and neck with someone else, and who knows why you don't get the job. So it can become bleak is the right word. And so in the summer of 2017, I got a phone call from someone I didn't know very well. His name's Joe Rutten, and he is the director of the Benedictine Leadership Institute here at Mount Marty. And he knew of me through my parents and knew that I was a newly minted PhD. And my predecessor here had to suddenly vacate her post to take care of a sick family member back in California. So Mount Marty very quickly, suddenly needed a theologian. And Joe thought of me for some reason in the middle of the night. And so within the space of 1 month, we dropped everything in Ohio and sold our house and moved out here. And I've been here since the fall of 2017, teaching theology and philosophy. And sometimes when I'm lucky, I get to help out in the English department when they need an extra section of something taught.
I think they'd say this too, but they're lucky to have you.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Thanks. So that's how I got here. I don't know what else to. So I feel like everyone's going to get to know us. Right. All 3 of them are going to get to know us. The numbers are dwindling. We started with 10s.
Yeah.
Went to 8. We're down to 3.
I didn't know how to say ones. All the ones of you.
Yeah.
There's tens place, hundreds, thousands. No, not even close. Tens, the ones of you. That's not a word. That's not a phrase. I'll workshop it.
Yeah.
For our listeners. So you didn't pick this place because it was Benedictine. You picked it.
Nope.
It picked you.
I stumbled backwards into this position, and
Story of our lives. I want to meet these people who have a plan and it works out for them. I've heard that it happens.
This may be the first time I'm even hearing that exists.
Oh, okay.
Say more.
It's I don't know. I don't talk to a lot of people, so I think I read it in a novel or something.
A plan.
Self-help.
A plan.
You say, I would like to do this.
And then you go do it? Yeah, I've never.
And then just people say, yep, do it.
I've never had that. No.
Yeah, I can't say. Yeah,
well, I can get myself to bed. I want to go to sleep, and then I go to sleep. I can make short-term plans like that.
Approximate. Yeah. But what brought you to theology generally? How'd you get around? Did you when you were 5 and they said, when you grow up, what do you want to be? You said, theologian?
Yep.
I want to be a theologian.
Theologian. Yeah.
I'm assuming that you had a
speech.
Cute.
Yeah, so when I was 5, I was studying literature, and I was getting a master's in literature at the University of St. Thomas up in the Twin Cities.
Mm.
But during that master's program, I was reading a lot of critical theory and philosophy. and I was kind of bowled over by the fact that the form of Christianity that I'd been raised in, I was a Protestant at the time, an evangelical, quite disgruntled, but still an evangelical. The form of Christianity I was raised in really didn't give me the resources to deal with like tough intellectual questions. So I wanted to study more, and I didn't know anything about the world of academic theology and philosophy because I didn't do any of that work in undergrad. So I just went to a school. After I finished the English degree, I just went to a school where I knew I had some friends already there studying.
Isn't that how it happens so much?
Yeah. I applied to one theology program. We had friends there, and we got in. And
higher up we go. I guess we were like reading books and going to study with people in particular, but again, walking backwards into a great situation.
Yeah. Yeah, it ended up being wonderful. So I was at Asbury Seminary in Kentucky. In order to try to get the skill set I needed to navigate philosophical questions, and I ended up becoming Catholic while I was there.
Not their desired path for you, probably.
I think some of my professors were pretty upset with me. Yeah.
Asbury's Methodist.
Right.
So they probably were looking for you to probably dive a little deeper into your pietist roots rather than becoming a papist.
Right. I was at my New Testament professor's house for Sunday dinner, and the longer the conversation went on, I think the more uncomfortable it got. I think he wanted me to pursue New Testament studies because I mean,
New Testament's cutthroat too. You would have hated it.
Well, I've been studying literature, so when I go to inductive Bible study of Mark, and I was just like,
you were killing it.
I was rutting around, man. I was down in the muck, and I was having a great time.
Giving yourself a little New Testament, little Greek dust bath.
That's right. He loved doing that work with me, and I loved doing that work with him because I could bring my literary studies to bear.
Catholics can study the New Testament too, right?
Yeah, I think he does.
What got him was the combination of becoming a papist and not doing New Testament.
Yeah.
He said, I taught you all this Greek, and you're not going to use it. And you said, I never learned it to begin with.
Don't need it. I don't want. God speaks Latin.
So one day we'll tell the God speaks Latin story. Can't wait.
Yeah. So they weren't that happy. I had an ethics professor there that was like, he's like, I'm as low church as you can get. And then we're going around introducing ourselves. And I was like, I'm in RCIA. I'm becoming Catholic. And he looked at me like, what? So yeah, but they were very good to me. They were just kind of surprised. So yeah, that's how I came to theology. And Hannah and I took the kids and went to Maine after seminary and took a couple years off. And we both decided that I should get a PhD, and it worked out.
Yeah.
And so now I'm a theologian, I guess.
Yeah. I guess it's not. I was going to say it's rare, but it's not actually. I guess a lot of people find what they're meant to do, but I think many of your students and colleagues would say you're doing what you're meant to do. It's kind of a blessing that you stumbled backwards into it.
Right. And right. If I look backward, then I think, well, maybe I wasn't stumbling. It just wasn't. It's not my plan that I had for myself ever.
Yeah.
I was just like always just going to do the next thing. A bunch of beginner's steps, and I find myself in this place where, yeah, I would say it's going well. I'm a good fit. I think people meet me and they find out what I do and they say, oh yeah, that makes sense. So that's probably as much verification as I can get that I'm doing the right thing.
Right. Well, and it's not even just the performance of it either. You regularly now get invited just to be your self-actualized self places. Yeah. Like they don't need you to do a performance of theologian.
Yeah. Just talk. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's happened twice in the last week if I remember your itinerary.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. It's a good thing. So I'm happy to be here. I like Mount Marty a lot. Actually, I love Mount Marty.
Yeah. I don't think either of us would have expected that going in, but I think
no. When I first got here, I wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, that's not the plan. And I've fallen in love with the place and the people, and people make the place. So it's a good thing. What we've got going here, it's a good thing. So do you want to talk about yourself now? We've been talking about me for quite some time, and you know how that makes me feel.
I know, but while I had the upper hand, I got to ask the questions and not answer them.
So you are newer to this community.
Yeah.
You've only been here
a year, a month, and a week.
Wow. That's an incredible knowledge that you have right there. You know all of that. A year, a month, and a week.
I do. Well, it was
Are you constantly tallying how long you've been here?
I don't tell HR. Yep. No. I would say that we could both agree that me coming here was a turning point of a sort in my life. Yours has as backward as you feel at certain points. I think your trajectory has a straighter line to it than mine. I think we can agree.
Sure.
I think I was in high school, I was under this, I think I really believed a lot of the things that the 90s set out to teach us, which were...
Oh, I want you to say everything you can about this.
Believe in yourself. Follow your dreams. Do what you love. Don't work a 9 to 5 just because follow your, you know. So coming out of high school, like aughts is not the teens. Yeah. Mid 20-aughts, 2007. I just thought, well, I should obviously study the thing that is most interesting to me, which I've come to learn is not the approach everyone takes at college. I genuinely just thought, whichever one gets me fired up the most, that's the one I should do. Yeah. So I loved reading books, and I just thought religion is actually, in my mind, religion, theology, whatever you want to call it, was the greatest form of literature, because it is literature that people lived and died by.
Yeah.
Literature that people killed for. Like, nobody's killing anybody over Middlemarch. Well, that we know of.
I love George Eliot.
Well, and rightly so, but again, how many wars have been fought on the basis of Middlemarch? And maybe like 2 different interpretations of Middlemarch? Very few. So I just thought, this is extremely high stakes literature we're talking about here. And so I double majored in English and religion, and I went to Southwestern College, which is a little United Methodist college, and I was Southern Baptist. But I had become sort of like a hipster atheist in my later years, disaffected with a lot of things. Mm-hmm. So I come back around to it and learn some philosophy and become okay with it as a language game that I can also believe, and really found myself in this weird spot because at Southwestern College, it's in Kansas, flat as a pancake, famously, although it's beautiful rolling hills too, but there's one hill in the whole town. And the English department was at the very top floor of the building on top of the hill. And the religion department was at the very bottom of the hill across campus. So I was just constantly running back and forth between my English professors were Ireland, like Italy, like this was the non-American atheist, like just cool continental philosophers having us look at Flaubert in a new way or whatever. Right. And then I go down the hill and I've got like evangelical United Methodists being like, you better watch out for those English folks. And the English folks are like, you better watch out for those Christians. And so I was in this like weird spot, but I really thought when I started to learn Hebrew, I thought, well, this is for sure the coolest language I've learned. And if you start to read the Old Testament Hebrew Bible in Hebrew, you realize like there's a lot that's interesting about it literarily. It's very ambiguous. Biblical Hebrew, as far as we can tell, doesn't have a proper like tense system. It's just aspect. And so there's just a lot to play with.
Yeah.
And that's what you want.
Yeah.
When you're a literature person, you want to play around.
Something to run around in.
Yeah, right. Got to take that dust bath. Kev, can you make sure you can tag all those references to the dust bath? We don't want to lose that in the pod. So I actually did do my research, and I went to Duke, studied with Ellen Davis and Thea Portier Young and Stephen Chapman, and I really tried to go that route, but I had some significant learning challenges that blocked me from doing my best work, both in terms of creativity and also in terms of like self-sabotage around GRE scores and things. So I did not get into an Old Testament PhD program. So then at the time I was working at the Catholic Center at Duke, and Michael Martin, who's now a bishop, was my boss. And he sort of said, like, you know, if this door's closing, like, you should think about just being a teacher. And I was thinking about being a Franciscan at the time. And so he kind of connected me with a Franciscan high school up in Baltimore. I taught English there for 5 years. Then the pandemic came. I kind of had become disconnected from Baltimore. And so I was alone. It was a global pandemic. I just couldn't do it anymore. So I quit and I came back home. And
to Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm from Oklahoma, much to my chagrin. Lesser Texas, as we call it. So I came home to Lesser Texas and was back on the literal horse farm, and decided to kind of take a break from education. It was really intense.
Yeah.
We know a lot of high school teachers, and just doing high school wherever you are, it's way too much emotional, physical, intellectual labor.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can be, if you'd like to do the job that everyone expects of you, it can be like a 80, 90 hour a week.
100%.
I was burnt out and I was sinking further and further into debt because I wasn't making enough to actually pay my bills and I had some part in that, but I'm not just blaming my pay rate. But so I managed a coffee shop for a while, but managing a coffee shop turns out not to be as much as people look at you and say theologian, they look at me and do not say manage coffee shop. They don't say, man, really living into his vocation here. So we hit an end of the road with managing the coffee shop and ambiguity around whether I was managing it or not. You know, I say managing because I was doing the work of a manager, not because I received the title or the pay of a manager, which was, learned a lot about small business. But I've been hanging out with you, and you've been hanging out with lots of people around here. So I was a known quantity, and we had all sort of been joking for a long time about me coming up here because your children are not, as they're wont to remind me, not related to me.
Not related to you. Yet they can't help themselves but call you Uncle John.
Yeah. Or Frunkle.
Frunkle.
Yeah. Friend uncle.
Yeah.
And I just, what better thing to do than to watch your friend nieces and nephews grow up. And so I actually weirdly last year started out here doing residence life, which again, anybody who knows me, and conduct, which anyone who knows me, this is well, not I did a fine job. It's not what we would hope.
But like the management position. Not one you would immediately associate with. No. Did an okay job. Then the librarian here really wanted to retire, and I have always worked in libraries and bookstores, and I would say there's a way to look at what I just told you and say that it's really just a 20-year love affair with books. Yeah, same. Honestly, same.
So I have a teaching master's and an MDiv, but don't have the MLS, something I'm working towards, but they had
Masters of Library Science.
Yeah, sorry.
MLS, not Major League Soccer.
But I'm open to that.
Soccer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both as a concept and for me.
That's a good
I'd be in much better shape if I had that going for me. So yeah, I think really feeling like we're hitting a stride here.
Yeah, we're both doing things that it seems like
maybe we were
created to do.
Meant to do, yeah. And that's
which is fun.
Been cool to feel.
And here's the verification.
Circuitous.
There are people who want us to be doing this right now.
I say.
This isn't just something that you and I thought, hey, we should do this.
I don't
know. People that want us to
You might not hear this in our voices. We're mortified to be putting this out into the world. Absolute last thing we would want to do. We love to listen to a podcast.
Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, but the
But,
terror of making one.
The terror of creation.
The horror.
As a growth experience, maybe we read Frankenstein, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
The terror of creation.
So just quickly then, we could let people know that we've been friends for as long as my son Thomas has been alive. You and I met at Duke. We came for a family member's graduation, and he was your good friend, and now we're good friends. And
yeah. Actually, Ty and I met working at the Duke Library.
Library.
It's
Books
just libraries
are
all
where it
the
happens.
way down. If there's I guess, headline here, guys, read more books.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
Could get you a job, could get you lifelong friends, could get you a Frunkel and Freeses.
Yeah, and refuse.
And Frefuse.
Yeah.
I think we settled on Frefuse.
Yeah, so Thomas was a baby, and Thomas is now 12, so we've been friends for 12 years.
Yep.
Ish. And after we met at Duke, we would have Thanksgiving together in Ohio, or we'd meet up at Massachusetts. And
it was 6 hours to you.
Yeah.
And it was 24 hours to get back to Lesser Texas.
Yeah.
And so it just made more sense.
Where there is no Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So
Don't tell my family that. They're still mad that I don't come back for Thanksgiving.
yeah. So just over time, seeing each other a couple times a year, became good friends.
Well, and let's not forget, constantly texting memes.
Yeah, our text thread with you, me, and Ty is 10 years long.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
And a lifeline.
Yeah, for sure. Oh. It's just amazing. It's a beautiful gift to have you here. It was lonely here without you. And now you live not even 1 block away from me.
Yeah. I planned it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. We planned the whole thing.
It was all part of the, I don't know if you can tell by my biography that I just gave you, but it's very purposeful. It's like,
There's
one
a master
step
document.
leads to the next step. Leads to like, obviously I needed to check that coffee shop management position
Part
off
of the game plan.
because it's a straight line from where I wanted to go to where I am.
Yeah.
And into the future.
Yeah.
And so I think what's been interesting is that, neither of us set out to be Benedictine people, but we have we've put ourselves in the places of being learners, especially at the feet of our wonderful sisters who've been doing this for decades and decades and decades, because we love it as beginners love a new thing. And so we want to do interviews. We want to do fun podcasts. We want to have conversations with each other. We want to, what else do we set out to do here? I think we also set out to maybe find some tenets for ourselves of a modern Benedictine way.
Yeah. I think one of the things that will make this project interesting is that it will be more focused on helping us figure out what it means to be Benedictine, rather than us telling other people what it means to be Benedictine. There's a place for those podcasts. They exist, I think. But we want to continually occupy the position of the beginner who has a lot to learn, both from masters who are further along the path and from people who are not on our path and can see our path from an interesting perspective. But in the rule, there's interesting advice about all sorts of things. But one of the things that Benedict recommends is that you listen to visitors, listen to people who are guests. Maybe a monk is traveling through your region and wants to stay the night at your monastery. You should listen to them because they're just popping in, and they're going to have a perspective on your way of life. And you should listen to that perspective. The outsider has something unique and good to share with you. Thus, our quest to find interesting people to interview on this podcast, whether they're Benedictine or not, they can help us understand ourselves better.
As a lifelong
Benedictines.
contrarian, too, I gotta say, the idea of bringing people that are gonna say, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, sure.
To what do you think that this speaks into a
Yeah.
Benedictine life
Yeah.
is very, very tasty.
Yeah.
Tasty. I didn't like that.
The word tasty.
Okay, we're gonna take it out.
We can put it on the list.
Put it on. What list?
Words under the ban. Banned words. Tasty is on top of the list, I guess. Number 1. Cannot
Tasty. You cannot
say
say
tasty.
number 1. You cannot say anything besides food. Besides food?
I don't think so. I think
Just anything.
even if you're talking about food, you should just say it's delicious.
Yeah.
Glorious.
Yeah.
Well, even try to describe the taste, but to call it tasty.
Yeah. What
I don't know.
if we had to add like maybe one more word to this list of banned words? I mean, we've both been English teachers, so we've got troves.
Of words you can't say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can just pick one? Like
I think so. We're not in danger of the list getting too long today.
I don't ever want to hear impactful ever again in my life.
Absolutely fair.
If
I'm immediately transported to some sort of fictional business pitch in, I want to say, Succession.
Yeah. So if
We
you
don't need that.
if you ever say impactful, I will quit the podcast immediately.
Or you could just pop me right in the mouth and we could keep going.
Okay, sure. I didn't really think of that option.
Well, take
If
advice.
a
man.
guest says impactful, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Do we get
We
a
should-
buzzer
We could have a buzzer. I think maybe we should also have a spray bottle. Like
for each other?
for guests. Like if you say impactful, I should be able to spray. Like a cat gets into some mischief and you spray them, and
We're gonna have to waterproof
them.
these mics because I can't afford new ones.
Yeah, I think maybe a spray bottle, and we can let them know.
Yeah, ahead of time.
I'm not going to surprise you.
Now look,
Here's the list. If you say any of these words, we will spray you in the face.
yeah,
That's really going to be hard digitally because a lot of our guests are going to be through the internet.
again, technological concerns.
Yeah.
Can I add one too?
Yeah.
This is purely from being an English teacher.
Okay.
And this is not a bad word in and of itself, but just the word portrays. It's often a first step for students to vocabulary beyond.
Vocabulary beyond is.
So
Okay, yes,
I used to tell them they have to use their active verbs. We're trying to avoid those passive constructs.
Yeah.
And inevitably, Poe portrays death. And it just becomes a really ham-fisted way of saying, I'm not sure what Poe's doing, but it's something for sure. It's something.
Right.
He's doing it.
Right. And I got to write about it because you're making me.
Because you're, or my mom will be so mad that I got a 0.
Right. Right. Okay.
All right, so we've
tasty
got tasty, we've got impactful,
and portrays.
and portrays in the intellectual ham-fisted sense.
I can't even think of when I would use the word portray.
Well, I think we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Once we get that buzzer.
Yeah.
And a soundboard. We need a soundboard.
Yeah. Like a morning disc jockey, like a
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of it. I think that's very Benedictine.
some Foley tricks and
Mm-hmm.
just hijinks, silly hijinks.
How do we end this?
We could talk about what we're going to do next. I think in the very near future, we want to devote some attention to what it actually means to be Benedictine. This is just like a get to know us
Yeah. I'd
episode.
also like
but,
to stick in there a podcast where we really dig into the phrase thought and action. I've got some experience with it myself that
you think and act.
I do. Well, I mean the phrase too. Also, in addition to my thinking and my acting. What if acting was like literally we have to be in plays?
Yeah.
Benedictine plays.
Thought and action.
That's I
Action.
have to think about it. Action.
Go.
Rolling.
Mm-hmm. One on what it means to be Benedictine, so far as we know right now. Another episode on thought and action. And then one of the ideas that's kind of structuring this entire project is that our content will be organized by the 4 core values of our institution.
And what are the 4 core values of Mount Marty University?
I'm glad you asked, John. Awareness of God, community, hospitality, and lifelong learning. And so I think everything...
Not a bad list of things.
No, not a bad list at all. And I think everything we do on the podcast should be able to be kind of sortable, organizable by those 4 categories.
Get some tags on those pods.
Yeah.
Pod tags.
Pod tags. And so I think we need to just dive into the 4 core values a little bit. What do we mean when we say awareness of God? What's a Benedictine mean when a Benedictine says hospitality? And so I think that's our upcoming content.
What's a piece of media you've watched since the last time we talked that you're getting into and you'd recommend to people?
I am in love with the music and the thought and the words of Leonard Cohen. And there's a glorious documentary called I'm Your Man, which is both live performances of his music by other musicians and documentary about his life. They're kind of like spliced together. I really love this documentary. I think it's gorgeous. And that's what I would recommend if people like good music. I mean, if you like bad music, it's not for you.
I don't actually.
You don't like bad music.
It's only the good.
Only the good kind ones. Is the ones that you like, yeah.
Yeah, I this is significantly more pedestrian, but I, like many Americans, this last couple weeks watched the documentary Chimp Crazy.
Oh yeah, I saw the thing of it, like the.
And it is a very vivid portrait of disordered human and non-human animal relations.
Okay. As the title kind of suggests.
It really does.
Crazy. So I should watch it.
Yeah, I'd say most people probably should use some caution if you have any sort of empathy toward animals. It's a really tough watch. It's just watching people who there are some interesting patterns that emerge among the people who decide to make the very ill-advised choice to spend tens of thousands of dollars to purchase a chimpanzee to live in their house. Oh. Watching a wild animal become a wild animal when the humans that have ill-advisedly gotten them fill some sort of hole in them have not recognized that there's a dangerous wild animal among them. And then what happens to these poor creatures and what happens to the poor people who have fated themselves to these tragic ends.
So it's like, is it 2024's like Tiger King?
It's by the same guy as Tiger King.
Oh, it is. It is. I didn't know.
It is. It truly is. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the next chapter. In fact, he got so famous from Tiger King that he had to hire someone to pretend to be the documentary director because he can't get in with any of the like exotic animal people. Anyway, wow. Viewer discretion advised. But I'd say watch it if you've got some time to think about human, non-human animal relations.
Which I don't know how often this will play on this podcast, but that's something that you and I care deeply about.
Yeah. And, well, that's almost what I did when I went to try to do my PhD in Old Testament. I was going to be animals, prophecy, animals, things like that. All right. Well, thanks for, I want to say thanks to my mom and my dad.
Thanks, Hannah.
To Hannah, our 3 listeners. Gosh, I guess you probably knew all that. So unclear on why we're putting this down and recording.
But it's been great. It's been great. And honestly, I can't wait for the next one.
I think people actually believe that we were friends too.
Yeah, I would say.
Do you think we pulled it off?
Yeah.
Jason, was it?
It's Jason. Yeah. Heron. Like the bird.
Like the bird.
Yeah.
And badly, like the adverb.
Yeah. Adverb. Yeah.
All
okay.
right.
Well, thanks for doing this with me, buddy.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Anytime. Or, well, preferably on a schedule.
Yeah. With purpose.
With purpose. With ideas. All right, Benedictine Thought and Action.
Maximizing impactfulness. Ooh,
that
was really bad.
I'm going to have to court-martial you for that.
Yeah.
Court-martial?
Gotta get that spray bottle.
That was my Foley work. Did you like it? I've got little water guns.
Oh, that would be
Paul's
perfect.
wife gave us water guns for the cats.
Yes. We should. Yes.
Okay, water guns. Podcast.
Out. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
The Benedictine Thought and Action podcast is produced by John Badley and Jason Heron, but really just Braylon Saucy. We're edited by John's golden doodle Llewellyn Lewin Badley. We're fact-checked by Jason's cat, Gigi, who suffers with cerebellar hypoplasia. This show was engineered by Frank Lloyd Wright. Original music by The Grateful Dead, but we lost that version, so we just used GarageBand to make the beats you are listening to even now. Our patron saints are Benedict Augustine, Gertrude of Helfta, Elred of Riabo, Bernard of Clairvaux, William of Bourges, Robert Alberich, Stephen of Aubezine, Virgin Lutgard, and Blessed Gerard. And the voice you are listening to now is an AI homunculus created by John and Jason from the voice of Richard Loftus.